I'm so clenched. Please keep going. Party rockin', as some would say.
I made a horrible nightmare.
But a fascinating question nonetheless.
You guys want to watch Limitless sometime?
You guys want to do this?
I have an answer, and it's so good and dumb.
Time to get math blasted.
Zoom is not a gentle lover, and you know that.
I also was trying to think of a boat horn joke.
What if Zoom just wants to give you soft kisses?
My note of Weezer song name puns.
I'm good for this slop.
I popped in. It's such a weird time.
I feel like we've done that already.
The time wasn't is, it was when.
Let's do this. All right, here we go. Hello, and welcome to Debate This, the show where no one is right, but someone is definitely wrong. In this show, we take time out of our busy adult lives to talk about comic books, video games, and how, by the time this episode comes out, we will know the changes made to the Commander ban list, and whether or not my speculative investment in a single copy of Primeval Titan paid off or not.
I actually heard leaks from the Commander ban list. They're actually just banning Todd from Commander.
Yeah, that feels
Todd's not allowed
Yeah,
to play Commander anymore.
That's the new
My
change.
dad, who works at Wizards of the Coast, said Todd's not allowed to play
Oh,
anymore.
and Nadu's back. We get Nadu, and we lose Todd. That's the Commander ban changes.
Yeah, it's so weird. The Commander ban changes is just Glunch listed 10 times, and I'm pretty confused by it.
All four of you who got that joke listening, you're welcome.
You're welcome. Thank you. So, guys, about, 20 years ago now.
ago.
About 20 years ago now, there was an episode of South Park. It was said, anything fun costs about $8. And adjusted for inflation here in 2025, it's now $13, $13 or $14.
Yeah.
Anything fun
Yeah, that's accurate.
costs at least $13 or $14.
Yeah, that's not even a joke. That's just real.
It's just real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The point is, it's become increasingly difficult in 2026 to just find something to do. Blow off steam after work, get into a deep conversation with a friend somewhere, or plan to overthrow your government without just blowing your whole budget for the month.
Do you guys want to bring back walking around a mall?
God, more
Do you
than
wanna
anything.
just,
Oh my God.
Do you want to just do that? Like, we
I
could
was
just
at my
like
peak
go
walking around
walk
the mall.
around a mall.
You want to know the version of that when there isn't a mall close enough by is walking around a Walmart. And that's...
Yeah.
I can check all of those boxes.
Yeah. It's actually hanging out in the parking lot of a Walmart. Thank you very
Yeah,
much.
also that. Yeah.
Yeah, at me, growing up in Northwest Ohio with nothing to do. I get it.
Yeah, man.
Who amongst us hasn't just gone to a Walmart in our youth?
This is all to say, over the last 20 or so years, we have slowly been losing something crucial to a healthy society, and that is the third place. Capital T, capital P.
Snaps for Kyle. Snaps for Kyle.
For those of you who don't know, this is somewhere that isn't home or work, the first two places, where people could spend their time, usually spending a minimal amount of money. This could be like your local dive, an arcade, a community center, cafe, coffee shop, church. You get the idea. Somewhere people could hang out, and it wasn't expected that like you spent a proportional amount of money to the time you spent there. And these places have been disappearing for all of the reasons that you probably can't imagine. Capitalism.
Hey, you got something
Bless
there?
you.
All right?
I think I got whatever you and Andrew had last week.
Yeah, sure.
Oh, yeah.
Just got a cough. But while the real world becomes overrun with places that are optimized to separate you from your money, there are still places in the realm of video games where you can hang out without taking out a small loan. So today I have invited for a night out with three of the best hangs that I know: Andrew, Seventh Heaven Henderson, Matt, Heroes Arcade Cole, and Todd, the Bannered Mare Thomas, so we can decide on a third place.
These are dope names.
Yeah.
Are these all arcade names?
No, they're...
I mean,
They're
Bannered-
video game bars.
Yeah,
Video game
Bannered
bars?
Mare is from Skyrim, I think.
That's
Yeah,
cool.
the video
I didn't
game
catch
part.
all that.
video
House of
game
Bars.
third spaces. Heroes
Third spaces,
Arcade,
yeah.
Matt, is like the arcade in the Blizzard Town map on Overwatch, or Blizzard, whatever the Blizzard
What do you
theme
know?
park is.
There's an Overwatch lore fact I didn't know.
Kyle went for the effort of personalizing our names for us.
I did.
Man.
Did.
Because Seventh Heaven is the bar in Final Fantasy.
Yeah.
For sure it is.
Yeah.
I knew that was Final
Yeah.
Fantasy. That was either Final Fantasy or Persona. It was one or the
Yeah.
other.
Yeah.
Man,
Yeah.
I love that.
So, guys, where are we hanging out tonight? Where is it? What game is it from? And what kind of place is it? Andrew.
So Kyle, I know we said we're not going to spend a lot of money, And furthermore, I also acknowledge that we often say eat the rich in a lot of different variations on the show. And following what I say, all of this is still valid.
Okay.
However, I'm saying maybe we make an exception this very one time because I do have an in on what could be our very own private island.
Oh,
That's
Now,
Real-
that's
keep
an
going
exceptionally
quickly.
risky thing to do.
I understand all of the collar pulling about saying that we have a private island, but just like play in this proverbial
I'm
space
so
with
clenched.
me.
Please
I
keep
know,
going.
I know you can unclench your butt. Okay,
we'll
listen.
hear you out. We'll hear you out.
An old college buddy of mine gave me a call the other day. Keep listening. Hold on.
It's getting worse.
Christ.
It's not going to get better. His name is Timber the Tiger. Now, Timber the Tiger, his parents come from old money, and they own a private island that they just named after Timber called Timber Island. And don't worry, it's perfectly sanitized. It's a very wholesome island. Let me explain. Now, I get this phone call from Timber the other day, and he tells me, hey, my parents are going out of town on an extended vacation. I'm throwing a big party and flying people from all over. Hold on. Now, Kyle, you might be asking, why would his parents be leaving the private tropical island to go on a different vacation? I didn't ask.
Not even in the list of top 10 first questions I would ask, but
not a major concern of
Yeah.
Well,
mine.
that's because when somebody invites you to a private island, you don't ask any questions, Kyle.
You ask him, where are the fancy parties? I would like to go to a fancy party, please. Now, what I do know is that Timber Island has a ton of go-karts, a ton of hovercrafts, and like small single-seater biplanes that we can just like drive around and explore about the island.
Why would you not open with that information?
Because I wanted to get there. I wanted to lead up. I needed to keep your guys' attention. Yes, I'm talking about the main hub world from 1997's Diddy Kong Racing, a very wholesome game that also takes place on an unfortunately situated private island.
please call at least 48 hours ahead of time before you try and unbury this lead that
Incredible.
Good.
Okay.
Call before you dig.
Yeah. Call before you dig. All right.
Yeah, it's Diddy Kong Racing. There
Diddy
you
Kong
go.
Racing's main island, not in no way affiliated with anything that's happening right now.
Yep.
This is one of those things that really dates an episode because, like,
Yeah, man.
4 years ago, this is just a fine joke you've made.
This is just a fine suggestion. I mean, I love go-karts, hovercrafts, and biplanes, and expensive is relative to the fun we have.
Yeah.
Even a large upfront cost can be made.
Well, we're not paying for it.
That's true.
That's to be clear.
That's true. All right.
I mean, one of the biggest strategies in finding free fun is finding rich friends.
That's true. All right, Matt, what do you got? Is it another private island?
It certainly isn't, Kyle. It couldn't
Okay.
be farther from a private island. It's a public place and it has lights and they're on. That's important. All of those things are important. So I love a third place. I really do. I when I was working at the radio station, got to frequent some of the best third places here in the city that we live. If you are really loose with the way you define the word best. But I was in a lot of them. And one of my favorites became the bowling alley that we held our weekly bowling league at. And I never thought that I would get hooked into a weekly bowling league. And then 3 years after doing 2 a year, I just couldn't get myself to stop. And that's why I suggest that you, me, and the boys all pull up to the bowling alley from Wii Sports.
Okay.
Okay.
The bowling alley from Wii Sports, which, believe me, I dug, does not have a name. They just call it the bowling alley. There's no name, so we'll just call it the bowling alley. We are going to go to the bowling alley from Wii Sports Resort, Nintendo Switch Sports. The Wikipedia seems to make it that they are all the same bowling alley.
It just got renovated in between each new release.
Exactly.
Okay.
And you know what? We might not have go-karts. We might not have biplanes. We might not have a private island, but we've got like 24 lanes, and we've got beer on tap, and we've got a cover bar or a cover band that plays here on Thursdays. And gall darn it, this is about the cheapest thing you can do to participate in an activity and be in public and use other people's equipment, because the average price of bowling, I calculated today, is still like about $10 a person for an hour to like rent lane and shoes, which isn't all that bad. So you don't have to buy a private island.
Sometime?
Question.
Yes.
I have a question. What is the Wii Sports Bowling Alley's cosmic bowling rules and economy? How does that work?
Lights are on. Like I said, lights are on. The lights never turn
Lights
off
are on.
here. Yes, this is a lights on bowling alley.
So this is a staunchly anti-cosmic bowling
Exactly.
bowling alley.
Yep.
That's a problem.
That's not a problem. It's a good thing.
Is there a lore reference to the bowling alley from Wii Sports serving beer and having a cover band?
It's all behind the camera. They just never.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
The camera only pans back if you bowl wrong. So
That's true.
If you throw the ball behind you.
just
Yeah.
out of sight
In-
is the cover band.
I think Switch Sports, you can definitely see that there are like a walk-up bar of some sort. It doesn't necessarily make it an alcohol bar, but there's like people behind a desk that doesn't seem like the shoe rental desk. My real thing is like, have you ever been to a bowling alley that doesn't have those things? I haven't, and I'm not sure you can prove that one exists.
I would have to check
No,
out
I can't think
I would
I
have to
can.
check out the bowling alley situation in like Salt Lake City. But that's what you've said
Yeah,
so
that
far
does feel
is,
like
is good
an
enough
exception,
for me.
not a rule.
So
Yeah.
Get a nice dirty soda.
yeah.
I'm just saying, I'm like 99% sure that legally to be a bowling alley, you have to have a bar and a Thursday cover band. I think that is the rules.
Okay.
Okay.
I also learned today that 9-pin bowling is illegal in 49 states. So there is precedent for weird bowling laws,
Yeah.
and it could be illegal to not have a bar in one.
I would guess it's like the same similar law that caused the Who to write a whole rock opera about pinball being illegal, in that like people assumed it was not skill based but luck based and therefore gambling.
It was a whole gambling thing. It's like the Music Man. It's the whole you got trouble in River City situation.
Yeah.
But that's why 10-pin bowling was invented. 10-pin bowling is like American bowling because they criminalized 9-pin bowling. There you go, bowling facts. Anyway,
I can't
bowling
wait for
alley
the
from Wii Sports.
HBO Max documentary about that.
30 and 30 ESPN.
Yeah,
documentary
give me a
on-
30 for 30 on that.
300 for 300, actually.
Yeah, that's good.
Good.
Bowling jokes.
All right, we'll let Matt ride out on that high note. Todd, where do you want to hang out tonight?
Yeah, Kyle, so excited that you've presented this opportunity to all get together in a free space that, you know, it's well known third spaces need to lack this like prohibitive cost requirement to exist, while they also just really need to be accessible to anyone who's interested in finding one. Like all the reasons, all the things you listed. Kyle, that's why I'm thrilled to let you know there is a brand new, to us, third place to consider that no one's thought about in almost a quarter century. So tonight, as the four of us kind of decide what we're going to get it to, you know, without being required to spend our mortgages on avocado toast or on a few experimental Citra hopped double New England IPAs that are all going to run us $14 a piece, we're going to find
Target
ourselves,
acquired.
Yeah, well, we're going to find ourselves hanging out in the cyber world of mainframe that we may all be familiar with from the TV show Reboot, but was most popular from the 1998 Reboot PlayStation game.
Sure, yeah, the Reboot
yeah.
PlayStation game that everybody obviously
Cultural
remembers.
touchstone, the Reboot PlayStation.
I
game.
said what I said.
That's the title too. It's not like
Yeah.
Reboot. It's the Reboot PlayStation game is what it's actually called.
The Reboot PlayStation game made popular by the TV show. So we're going to mainframe, this digital city. Now, as like, sure, we're there and we can definitely go relive our old theater kid dreams by, going to Dot's Diner and we each spend $3 on some crappy diner unlimited coffee and we can hang out there. However, the real draw is the fact that before long, a giant violet cube made of pure energy is going to fall from the sky. And a fun fact for those at home, because I didn't realize this, that's called the GameCube.
Oh.
The GameCube, yeah. This violet cube of pure energy will fall from the sky. And Kyle, for $0, we can go jump into this GameCube to immerse ourselves in a lifelike game where we can race Indy cars, we can fight in the Wild West. Honestly, any number of fully immersive fantasy adventures, all for $0.00. All we have to do is leave Dot's Diner, give a nice tip for our $3 unlimited diner coffee, jump into the violet cube that has fall from the sky, and we all tap our chests and say reboot, and now we are cowboys, astronauts, explorers, hunting dinosaurs. What you name it, Kyle, any of those things can happen. We just have to step into the mystery cube that falls from the sky, and it costs no dollars.
Important question. If you die in the GameCube, what happens?
Good question.
Kyle, was that one of your questions? I'm looking at the prompt and I'm not sure if I have to answer them.
Oh, no, there are 9 years of precedence on this podcast that you have to answer questions for the peanut gallery. Them's the rules.
I will say, Kyle.
Yeah, it's like the whole thing.
If we are going, and I'm saying this to Kyle because I don't care about you two. Kyle,
okay,
if we do venture into the violet light cube that has fallen from the sky and we don't win, or the good guys don't win, there might be some precedent that there would be a scorched block of earth that is a city block.
Wait, so if you die in the GameCube, we all die in real life?
That's what it sounds like.
It's unknown. It's uncertain.
If we die in the GameCube,
that's
real
way worse.
I think if we die in the GameCube, the data center that the GameCube that hosts the GameCube dies in real life.
Yeah, that could be.
Yeah.
Listen, here's what I am gonna say. I understand. I hear your concerns. What I do have to say to you is two things: power of friendship. We can overcome anything, and get good, scrub. So let's just go and not lose.
Plus, to Todd's credit, what are the chances the four of us would lose at something in the GameCube?
Jokes aside, listen, if we were in a situation where it's like us four and our video game prowess were put to the test to win in a game, I'd put some money on us against the other common folk trapped in the GameCube.
As long as I didn't have to wear dice or roll dice, I would agree with that.
Yeah. Were we not at a gaming con, but 6 months ago, where we all four put on headsets to do a collaborative video game and then said, we're getting too motion sick, we can't play this video game?
we all looked like a bunch of toddlers for 20 minutes and then got tummy troubles.
And I got really hot and sweaty. So that's the good news. It's not VR. We're in it. We're doing it. So now, to your point, Matt, had we been put in a situation where we actually were like, oh, you're chefs and you need to toss food around, I would be very comfortable. When you put the Oculus Rift on my face, I get sweaty and sick and I need to lay down.
Okay.
To our credit there, Matt, too, the controls were not explained to us.
Yeah. That is true.
These headsets were slapped on our faces and be like, all right, play the game.
The problem was we weren't on the TNG holodeck. That's the issue. If we would have been on the holodeck, we would have been
exactly.
Anyway, back to the question here, Kyle. We are going to the world of mainframe. However, at any point in time, we can jump into a violet cube that has fallen from the sky inexplicitly, and we can just play video games with friends. It's fully immersive adventure, free. Kyle,
Todd,
free.
I like a lot of this. Two standouts that I really like are the word free and that it looks like the see-through purple casing that was popular in the late 90s, early 2000s.
That is cool.
I do like that.
It is. It is coded like the computer lab you had in high school.
Love that. All right. So moving on, tell me why we should pick this place over the other two. Or, to put it more simply, what's the vibe? What's the vibe like? Andrew.
Kyle, it's our very own island that we can drive and fly planes around with reckless abandon.
Andrew,
done.
3 weeks ago, that answer would have been enough. I think I need a little bit more.
Fine. Also, there are dinosaurs and pirates. Is that better?
That's better.
It's
not worse.
It's different. Okay, there is one other thing. So hold on. So Timber told me, blah, 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 et cetera, et cetera. There's an evil bipedal pig that showed up from space sometimes after his parents left that apparently claimed dominion over the island. And the only way to get the evil space pig to leave is to beat him in a series of races. It's fine, though, because Timber has already subcontracted a rooster named Drumstick to beat Whiz Pig. That's right. The space pig's name is, in fact, Whiz Pig.
That's pretty good.
It's pretty good. It's kind of self-explanatory. Bad news, Drumstick lost, and now he's a frog.
The lore that you just threw at me hit me in such a nostalgic punch in the face that I realized everything you said sounded bananas. But
we're taling about Diddy Kong Racing,
And I know
so
it-
bananas is
100%.
apt.
100% from the instruction booklet. Yep. Outside of all the like space pig wizard stuff, the island's great. You know, it's not terribly big at first glance. Like you feel like you're kind of in the center, you're looking around and you can see every kind of edge. But as you go delve deeper, you realize that the island consists of expansive beaches, complete with an entire sub-society of whimsical pirates. There are sprawling forests, snowy mountain peaks, and a fully active volcano that's home to real, actual, factual dinosaurs. Not to mention one of those dinosaurs is a talking triceratops that also might be a benevolent god. It's great and unclear. Both of those things can be true. Because, Kyle, Timber Island is all about racing and adventure and nothing else. Literally nothing else. It's just racing and adventure and whimsical fun. There are upwards of 16 unique racetracks woven throughout the different areas of the island that provide really great views. You can fly planes over the tallest snowy peaks. We can drive go-karts through the fiery caldera of the volcano, and we can explore the depths of the island's sunken caves to find hidden treasures, to barter with the denizens. Kyle, it's a dream for anyone who wants to explore the uncharted parts of nature and also go really, really fast while doing it.
All right.
And also, may I remind you, this is all free because our friend Timber, who is third generation old money, is inviting us here to go hang out on his cool island and fly planes and ride go-karts.
All right. I'll admit, I had my trepidations.
I understand why you did.
Yeah.
I still do.
I'm getting more on board.
Okay.
Matt, tell me about the vibes at the bowling alley on Wii Sports Island. Or Wii
Kyle,
Sports Resort.
they're great. They are awesome. The vibes of a bowling alley are always good when the lights are on. That is really important. I've been to a lot of bowling alleys, you guys. I've been to a lot of bowling alleys at a lot of times for a lot of reasons. And I can say with absolute aplomb that the vibes at a bowling alley are always good when all of the lights are on. When a section of lights or all of the lights are off for any reason, perhaps cyber bowling, perhaps private party, perhaps singles night, or because somebody got too drunk and knocked one out. Either way, if the lights are not on, the vibes are not great. But the thing about the bowling alley...
Real quick. Real quick. Anybody playing at home, please bring up the Matt Cole wiki. We need to add a new entry to the Matt Cole lore wiki in that Matt Cole
had a traumatic
hates cosmic bowling.
Yeah, incredible
bowling.
stance on.
Yeah, cannot
pro
stand.
lights on bowling.
Yeah.
I don't have like a hatred for cosmic bowling. Cosmic bowling
Kind
is
of feels
fine.
like you do, but okay.
I can explain more in the post show. Like the bowling alley in my town growing up, there was a big curtain that separated cosmic bowling from regular bowling.
Like an actual curtain or
yes,
just like
an
a
actual like
metaphorical?
partition curtain.
Metaphorical curtain.
Like
Yeah.
the adults only section at a video store?
Exactly like the adults only section at a video store. And the vibes
That's
on
weird.
either side were weird and different. Look, we're not going to get into that right now. All I'm saying is that at the bowling alley in Wii Sports, the lights have never been off. The lights are on all the time. And you know what?
Okay.
You're adjacent to a whole resort. Everybody there is happy. There's walking trails. There's tennis courts. You can go be in a fight club in the boxing ring if you want to. But here in the bowling alley, The vibes are good because the lights are on. Everybody's happy. They're watching each other bowl. There are other people bowling. The other time that the vibes at a bowling alley is weird is if you're the only person there bowling. And that does not have to be a problem in Wii Sports Bowling Alley because there's always somebody there. It's literally set up to randomly pull in Miis from the Mii parade and stick them in the bowling alley. There will always be people bowling there. And that really brings me to what I wanted to talk about today, which is Robert Putnam's 2000 book, Bowling Alone, the Collapse and Revival of American Community, which uses
this took a turn.
bowling leagues as a metaphor to show the decline in American social capital through the lens of Americana and the loss of bowling leagues, because social capital is the investment that people have in their communities. And while the number of bowlers has gone up to 67 million a year, the number of league bowlers has gone down to just over 1 million per year. And if you are bowling alone, you are not experiencing the joy and community that you get from participating in a light, easy, methodical, but accessible sport like bowling. So anyway, if we bring back the third space of the bowling alley
wrong.
and bowling leagues, we're gonna fix everything.
Everything. Okay, that's
Okay, so if you're if you're playing at home, pull out your 2026 scorecard. And in addition to we need a new wishbone, we need more bowling leagues.
We need more bowling leagues. Join your local bowling league.
Yeah. Wishbone and bowling leagues will defeat fascism.
Yes. Honestly, there's a lot of decent research to back that up, and I think we can state that claim.
Yeah.
I don't think I can argue this point even as a bit.
Yeah. Yeah, man, the vibes are good. Vibes are good. Lights are on.
All right. Vibes are good when the lights are on. When the lights are off, questionable.
It's my favorite Usher song.
Yeah, that's really good.
This is really good.
Todd, what are the vibes like in the GameCube not trademarked by Nintendo?
Yeah, not trademarked by Nintendo. That's what's great about this option, Kyle, is that the vibe, though it's definitely adventure and kind of surprise, it could really be anything. So if we're bored walking around mainframe and violet sky cubes falling, we suddenly jump in and we find ourselves in, a stagecoach shootout. Maybe we end up in some fantasy World War II era dogfight. Maybe we jump into the cube, we double tap the emblems on our chest, we all together yell reboot because that's a fun thing we get to do. And suddenly we're fighting, these like polygonal dragons as part of King Arthur's court. Kyle, zombie invasion, platforming adventure, murder mystery, you name it, anything is possible once we jump into the sky cube that has fallen from the sky, that may or may not have lethal ramifications if we're not successful. Uncertain. Anything is possible as we do this, and in the process, we likely need to defeat our evil virus nemesis, Megabyte and Hexadecimal, because those were the two villains from Reboot, if you remember them, which kind of brought me to the point. I don't know if I ever really realized that Reboot is in a computer and they are viruses, but
that's like the cubes are like the users putting in like a CD-ROM to play a game.
Yeah.
And so just to paint the picture again here fully, Kyle, one moment we are drinking our cheap diner coffee at Dots. The next minute Sky Cube falls and we're like, hey, does that sound good? Like we can go run and do that. Right now we can go fend off aliens in a zero gravity outer space adventure. And the biggest thing here, Kyle, is that what I do want to say is that two of the options presented today do require you to go to an offshore island or resort.
Whoa, I didn't say anything about offshore. There's a place called Resort in the strip mall by my house. Like, you don't have to go anywhere.
You're going to tell me, Matt, the Wii Resort fight on top of a floating platform with your baton is in island, is not like... is inland, not
You don't think they could put that up in a
offshore?
pool? I feel like they could put that up in a pool.
But it's not in a pool. That's not the point. Kyle, left for you to decide. Mine doesn't require you
I also
to get on
don't
a
feel like
weird
we
shuttle.
should condemn all islands. Like that also doesn't feel fair.
That's a fair point. That is a real
feels
point.
like a tough take from the pro island guy.
Islands don't kill people, Todd. Dangerous rich people do.
Guns don't kill people.
Feels like
kill
someone
people.
here has never watched Kong Island, the King Kong in universe island where everyone dies.
Still,
The island isn't the problem.
Oh wait,
Yeah.
M. Night Shyamalan's old about the beach
I was
that
gonna
makes you
say,
old.
The island that makes you old is the movie reference we need to make here.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's the island that kills.
point here is-
Sure, I
Here's
guess.
Kyle. Limitless Adventure, Zero Islands.
Okay. All right.
You could poke a lot of holes in my no. You could poke a lot of holes in my thing.
Yeah.
But like the fact that it's on an island is like who cares?
Islands are getting a lot of bad press right now, is all we're saying, Andrew.
Yeah, it's true.
All right,
Fine.
Island
guys.
stocks are down.
It's okay. It's okay. An important part of a third place is that eventually, as more regulars start to show up, a community forms there. And you will start to recognize some of the people. What is the community like at your third space? And who is the quote unquote character that I'll definitely notice and ask about once we get back in the car on our way home? Good, bad, or weird? Andrew.
Yeah, I mean, there are a lot of characters on Timber Island, and we're not. I mean, yes, there are people that also other people that Timber has invited on to Timber Island, which we will talk about. But there are also characters
Shared
that just like,
Airbnb situation.
yeah, it's a kind of a timeshare. But there are a ton of people that just live on this island, and most of them are demigods? Question mark. So first of all, we've got Taj. Now, upon arriving, you're going to actually come in, like when they land the helicopter on the helipad, because there's no airport on Timber Island, you'll be greeted by, you're going to get in your go-kart, and you're going to kind of drive into the center of the island, and you're going to be greeted by a giant blue elephant who surfs in on a flying magic carpet. Pretty cool.
Okay.
Pretty dope. The vibes are immaculate. Except the only thing is he kind of sounds, unfortunately, really like Apu from The Simpsons.
Oh, I was waiting for it. There it is.
Yeah, so like it would have been really cute and fun in 1997, but like in 2026, you're like, okay. But he's super nice, and you know he'll turn your plane into a car, into a hovercraft. He will say abracadabra, but you know it's fine. Now we already talked about the giant space sorcerer pig. Sure, listen, he's not that big of a problem. Just as long as you don't threaten his dominion and you ignore the massive effigy of his head that's built into one of the cliff sides in the center of the island, it's fine. Like, don't even worry about it. Now, I mentioned earlier there may or may not be this like Triceratops guardian protector that lives in the volcano. Well, there are 3 other demigods that also act as guardians of the island. And yeah, they're kind of like guardian spirits, but they're like tangible entities that speak and race go-karts with each other. So again, like much like the scary space pig, if you leave them alone, they'll leave you alone. So like, cool. So let's talk about some of the other people who've been invited on the island. Hold on. So Timber invited all of his other college drinking buddies. Most of them really cool, right? We've got like Tip Tup, the turtle, who's a solid bro. We've got the badger one. I forget his name. We've got the Kremling one. I forget his name. Now, Kyle.
No, hey, real quick.
Yeah.
Tipped up for a turtle name. A+.
Yes.
A+
Pretty good.
naming.
Yeah.
Honestly,
Yeah.
forgivable that you forgot the other 2.
Yeah, they're pretty forgettable. Now, there is one that you're going to want to keep an eye out for, and it's the squirrel Conker. You see, Conker's been apparently really struggling with alcoholism for many years. So if you see him behind the wheel of a vehicle, just like
Give him a wide berth.
stay out of the way.
Run.
Just give him a wide berth. Yeah, just give him a wide berth. But Banjo, on the other hand, his buddy Banjo, solid fucking bro. Banjo's a bird. He's got a bird that lives in his backpack, and it's not weird at all. Great hang, generally.
Wait, Banjo's
speaking.
not a bird. Banjo's a
Banjo's
bear.
a bear.
Yeah.
He's got a bear. He's got a bird in his backpack.
Bird in his backpack.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do have the names ready if you're ready for them.
Yeah, hit me with those names. I X'd out of the wiki
No, you're good.
hours ago.
Crunch the Kremling, which is pretty
Crunch. Yep.
good. Pipsy the mouse. You didn't talk about the mouse. There's a mouse named Pipsy.
Forgettable.
Bumper the badger. Pretty good.
Bumper the
Bumper's
badger.
also pretty good.
That's fine.
Yeah, those are the 3 forgettable ones.
What I'm hearing is there aren't drunk driving laws on this island either.
What is
Okay.
a private island without laws and
Okay,
rules?
outside of the bit, the rules on operating a hovercraft with open container are loose.
Yeah.
At best.
Yeah.
It is the same law as driving a 4-wheeler in the middle of like a campground.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's
golf
pretty
cart
comparable.
laws.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's golf cart laws.
Is
Yeah,
it illegal
yeah.
to drive a golf cart with an open container? Probably. Are you going to get pulled over in the campground? Absolutely not.
Not even a little bit.
Okay. All right.
Now, flying the biplane is a little
I
bit
wasn't gonna bring
different. That's the one where like maybe like do that the first thing you do in the day.
Yeah.
Before
When
you're
start
after
with biplane, we end in hovercraft.
you start with biplane. You never end with biplane.
Never-
Biplane and coffee go really well together.
Yeah.
You never go hovercraft to biplane.
Yeah, you never go up to buy. Not taking it back.
All right, Matt, tell me about the people at the bowling alley.
Yeah, Kyle, I would describe the people at the Wii Sports Bowling Alley as eclectic, but familiar. Who's that guy over there? He looks kind of like my grandpa that died 10 years ago. Who's that lady? That lady looks kind of like my teacher that I had in 6th grade. I don't remember her name. Hey, who's that
So wait,
guy?
every experience is like a dream, a waking dream where just vaguely familiar
I think
people.
I see what Matt's doing.
I see. I
get it.
see
I
the
get-
bit
I get the
too.
bit.
Yeah. Who's that guy? And that guy, and that guy. And why do they all look a little bit like Barack Obama? That's the thing about the Wii Sports Bowling Alley. Any Wii is possible.
Why are there 12 Barack Obamas and Homer Simpsons here?
Yeah, that one kind of looked like Zoidberg.
All of the Santa Clauses are on that lane, and that guy's nose is upside down. That is sort of the community at the Wii Sports Bowling Alley. But you come to love these people because the way that bowling leagues and bowling alleys work at their best is you are beside these people when they succeed. You are sharing small spaces that aren't necessarily personal, like tables, benches, scorecard screens, that sort of thing. But it's not like you're on top of each other. You don't have to be in physical contact. And so it is a little weird that the team of 4 that you're up against this week all look kind of like the Ninja Turtles, but that's okay. They're excited to be there just like you are. Now, the regular that you're going to get to know is just some guy named Craig. Craig doesn't work here, but he takes the trash out when it gets full, and he's here most days. Craig isn't actually in a bowling league, but he's always happy to fill in if somebody doesn't show up. He has his own shoes and his own ball, and because he takes the trash out, they let him bowl for free. But he doesn't work here. You will just get really used to seeing him.
All right.
No joke. It's just a guy named Craig.
Sure.
That lane
Nope,
has a
that's-
bunch of Barack Obamas.
Yeah.
I,
Do you guys
don't
remember
think- I think
back in the old days of
was
Wii
good.
where you could, there were like contests to make, can you make your me look the most like Santa Claus against all
Yeah.
the other me's?
Yeah,
Man.
absolutely.
Online gaming used to be so good.
Different times.
Someone
Different times.
go watch the Polygon episode where they make Turbo Vicky. That's the it's every me made is Turbo Vicky.
All right. Todd, tell us about the community in the GameCube.
Kyle, I would love for nothing more than to tell you about the community in the GameCube. So we will have some familiar faces here. So we should count on running into some series favorites like protagonist Bob. Remember that main character's name was Bob? How lazy was that?
Barack Obama? Is Barack Obama there?
Barack Obama is not in the GameCube. You will run into, so obviously, protagonist Bob and his hoverboard. Our mentor, Fong, who may or may not be an unfortunate stereotype when we look back through 2026 eyes. I'm
Yeah.
unsure.
Yeah.
Dot and Enzo
tough.
Matrix, because those are two
Oh,
other
yeah.
characters.
Dot Matrix is pretty good for a name.
Yeah,
That is
Better
good.
than Bob.
yeah, better than Bob. Kyle, the real pervs you got to watch out for are Hack and Slash, or as I would describe them, the bulk and skull of the Reboot world.
Okay.
They're always just kind of like lurking around, just being henchmen, just little freaks kind of waiting to be in the way. Now, I want to be clear, they're not dangerous. And for the most part, everyone else in the community that gets involved in these GameCube, potentially life or death situations are very pro adventure and like playing for the side of good. But you just always have to watch out for hack and slash as they truly just get in the way. The real behind the scenes here is that they just so badly want to be the protagonists when the old GameCube drops and absorbs the local city block.
Are they
But
this universe's like Jesse and James Team Rocket?
they kind of are. They're definitely henchmen. They're henchmen of Megabyte and Hexadecimal. But they're really just bumbling fools that end up in the way. They just want to be the protagonists, and the main character is so bad that they just actually end up being set dressings and underlings. And it was probably worth mentioning that Megabyte and Hexadecimal, who are trying to forever trap us into a digital nightmare of their own design, might also exist in some of these games. You just kind of got to watch out for that.
Megabyte and Hexadecimal have big Rita Repulsa and Lord Zed energy.
They
Oh,
100%
yeah.
have Rita
Got
Repulsa
it.
and Lord Zed, especially Megabyte, like very a
Yeah.
1-to-1 Lord
Yeah, pretty
Zed
similar. Yeah.
kind of situation
Yeah.
there.
All right. Well, the vibes and community at both these places do sound pretty great. Oh, what's that? Oh no, guys, a developer wants to buy all three of these places and,
Oh no.
and
Son of a
tear it
bitch.
down for quote unquote luxury condos
Oh, not again.
unless we can raise $50,000 by this weekend.
Oh, beans.
How does this ragtag bunch earn the $50,000 to save their beloved third place? We'll get our answers right after this break. All right, we are back. So, guys, you just learned you have 1 week to raise $50,000 to save your beloved third place. How do the people that hang out there raise this money? Andrew.
Yeah, so I'm going to kind of walk you through this, Kyle. So there's a lighthouse on the island. That lighthouse is actually a rocket ship. Now I'll just hold that. We're going to come back to that. Important note. So in Diddy Kong Racing, after you beat WizPig in the four, you free the four guardians and you get the 4 trophies and they beat WizPig. He tries to retreat back to his space amusement park called Future Funland. It's an amusement park in space. You get it. And we follow him, right? The whole crew follows him. And in order to follow him, they all hop in the lighthouse because Timber's like, yo, guys, the lighthouse is actually a rocket ship. Cool. So everybody piles together in the rocket ship lighthouse and they fly to Future Funland and they beat WizPig's ass on his home turf. And then they just get the amusement park. They just own it now. That's the play we're going to run here.
Okay.
So it's simple, Kyle. We simply pile into the rocket propelled lighthouse. We fly that up and out into the Galactic Amusement Park. We take over the business by being the fastest racers. And after we take ownership of the business, we let it kind of simmer for a few days because, transfer power and all that. Eventually, we use the funds that we generate to buy back the island from the developer. And now the island is forever ours and is a free paradise for racing and for dinosaurs and friendship.
Okay.
I do like racing, dinosaurs, and friendship.
I like all three
See?
of those things. Yeah.
See, I told you I could bring you back.
You got it there.
Not all islands are bad. Hashtag not all islands.
Nope.
Matt.
Kyle, we here at the bowling alley know that if you need to raise $50,000 and you've only got 1 weekend to do it, there's only one way. $12 buckets and half off on pizza. So
hell
we are
yeah.
going
Damn
to be
it.
running a huge special $12 buckets and half off on pizza. Now, we need people.
That's almost as good as dinosaurs. Damn it.
We need people to drink those beers and buy those pizzas. And so to bring in new blood to the bowling alley to sell our $12 buckets and half off pizzas. For the first time ever, we're turning the lights off. It's cyber bowling all weekend long. $50 a lane, $12 buckets, half off on pizza, $50,000 by Monday. No problem.
I have a question.
Yeah, Todd.
I have a question. Once you turn the lights off, do the arrows on the lane and the bowling balls glow in the dark?
Ooh, good question.
Absolutely, they do.
God
yes.
damn it.
Whoa!
That's a good answer.
Yeah. It's actually, we didn't even have to plan it. Most bowling balls are made of urethane that glows naturally. Another thing I learned today.
Matt,
Ooh,
this isn't
bowling
bowling
facts.
facts. You got to stop this.
Matt might be paid by Big Bowling.
Big bowling.
It's actually the Professional Bowlers Association. Thank you very much.
If the PBA is paying you, you have to tell us.
You have to tell us.
All right, Todd.
Yeah.
$50,000 one week.
Yeah, Kyle, it's microtransactions, and that sucks, but here's how it
No.
works. I know, I'm sorry. I'm going to go through this. Just hang with me. It costs $0 to jump into the violet cube of fantasy gaming that may or may not fall upon you in your daily life that threatens to potentially leave a scorched crater the size of a city block. Unsure. $0. That experience costs you $0. Accessible to everyone, barred to no one. Now, since Reboot, the show, which the game is based off of, stopped running in November 2001, it was untainted by the thought of microtransactions, DLC, etc.
Sure.
Unfortunately, the hellscape that is 2026 and the need to raise capital very, very fast requires us to embrace one of the worst things that's ever happened to gaming. When you jump into a GameCube and activate your avatar abilities, saying reboot, tapping your chest, you're now going to have the option to just spend a few dollars to get a better loadout for that gaming session.
You're going to put a
Now-
battle pass on a third space?
Yeah, well...
You monster.
Okay, well,
Fucking
stick with me on
monster.
this one. Stick with me on this one. $0
I'm not.
so
I'm
far.
going back to my private
fine.
island with dinosaurs and friendship.
That's fine. Kyle is still with me.
I'm
And so you jump into the GameCube. And instead of starting with a basic sidearm in the Wild West, you can pay $5 and get a nice revolver and a buffalo rifle. Another $10 might get you a speedy Bronco and some sticks of dynamite in your saddlebag. Now, if you throw down $20, you now have a fully furnished stagecoach that fits you and up to 5 of your friends, complete with some rifles and first aid supplies. I get that this sounds terrible. I get it. But look at it this way. If the 4 of us go out for dinner and drinks, our combined tab is going to be $100. $20 a person for drinks and food plus tips. We're at $100 for 4 of us. What I'm describing is we end up in a fully immersive adventure where for $50 or less, we're not just exploring the Wild West. We're exploring the Wild West while we're fending off the federales with live sticks of dynamite from a stagecoach. Ye and I cannot stress this enough, Kyle. Ha. We are in Fallout,
Why?
Mass Effect, Call of Duties, all games that have printed money with extra loadouts at launch for additional cash. Why not embrace this in a way that is actually fun and enjoyable? To put it one other way, for $20, I can spawn a helicopter with mounted railguns on it. And I have 2 questions for you. 1, are you going to tell me you're not going to jump in? And 2, are you going to tell me that's not worth $20?
This is antithetical to the third space. What have you done?
Yeah,
I'm-
You
also,
monster.
$12 buckets and half off pizza gets all
yeah,
4
yeah,
of us fed and drunk
This is-
for
yeah.
$18.
You have sullied the name of $2 Yings and Wings.
Okay.
Fuck you.
Okay. I knew this was going to go over like a Led Zeppelin. I do have an alternative answer. We turn...
You don't get 2 answers.
I do-
That's how this show's
Kyle
ever
said I
worked.
could. We turn the GameCube
so
that
mad at
falls
you.
from the sky into an Airbnb experience where you can
That's
rent
even worse.
Okay. I knew you wouldn't like that one, so I have a third alternate answer. We weaponize the GameCube and you can pay to drop it on your enemies. That is what I have for you today. Choose one. You might die.
right. Guys, it is late. I am hungry. We need to pick a place to hang out. Closing arguments. Why should we go to the place you want to go to? Andrew.
Kyle, it's a fun-filled island adventure with go-karts and dinosaurs. What more can you ask for other than $12 buckets? I can't give you $12 buckets.
Matt.
Kyle, in 1964, Don Carter became the first athlete of any kind to sign a $1 million endorsement deal. And Don Carter was a professional bowler. And bowling already has a high score. You can't get more than 300. And it's honestly an achievable thing to do. So if we start going to a bowling league now, by the end of the year, you might hit a perfect score. And then you too could sign a huge contract, and they've got $12 buckets and half off on pizza.
Todd.
Kyle, I'm offering you the opportunity to start our evening with some cheap diner coffee and doing a space adventure that may or may not have life and death stakes. I also cannot offer you $12 buckets and BOGO pizza. And I think I just need to be honest in that with us all.
I think we all need to look inward.
All right. I asked you what place we should go hang out tonight. Matt gave me a bowling history lesson, so I'm gonna walk to the end of the block and back, and then make up my mind.
Kyle, while you go and
When
walk,
I
please
do-
watch out for the falling violet square of energy.
It's really important that you do that.
While I'm gone, guys, please give me some good vibes, and I will have picked a place when I come back.
Fuck, Matt. Bowling alleys really is the right answer. It's such a good answer. I don't even like bowling, and you've convinced me like to join a bowling league.
Hell yeah.
There aren't like more. I think like in the span of Winter Soldier activation phrases for me, $2 yings and wings and a $12 bucket is certainly one of them. So well done. It's really funny. Todd, mainframe fucks. Like mainframe, like let's talk about mainframe for just a second, right? When I was a kid, when I was a wee lad watching Reboot, I wanted to live in mainframe so bad. Like when you were like, and we're gonna hang out at Dot's Diner, it was like my head exploded and you just unlocked so much. Like I would love to live at Dot's Diner and hang out in mainframe all the time. Now, granted, doing the like spontaneous life or death situations in the GameCube, maybe a sparingly sort of thing. I would certainly like to like have the option to not do that every time a GameCube shows up. Like,
Sure.
I would love that to be a may and not a have to sort of a clause. Even still, two very, very good answers. Well done.
Yeah, Andrew, Timber Island is awesome. I do think it's really funny that like you could have made this joke 2 seasons ago. It would have been like,
Look,
honestly, a little mundane. And now
Yeah.
it's one of the funniest jokes I think we've made on this
sometimes you
podcast.
find the bit and sometimes the bit finds you. What can I
True.
say?
Yeah, I like that a lot. And also, yeah, man, if me and my buddies had a private island as like a third space that we could go to, you wouldn't even have to put a biplane. I could fly on it. Like if I could just hang out on an island, that'd be kind of cool. So I like that a lot. Todd, yeah, man, hanging out in the digital world, rad. The possibility of our fun hangout with the bros ending humanity as we know it, a little less rad, but
Different.
a fun possibility. And I really like the thought of like, oh, what are you guys going to do this weekend? Oh, yeah, me and the boys are going to go hit the holodeck and just like see where it spits us. I think that's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Andrew, I want to be clear. If I go up to my friend's island and they're like, hey, yeah, we can camp, we can do whatever, but also here's a biplane. And I know for the past 10 years you've only done kart driving. What if I give you something that explores the z-axis?
It's pretty much the same.
Will you or will you not spend half an afternoon seeing what you can fly over? Because God knows, as soon as you got to fly around as Diddy, you're like, I can fly over that volcano? Mario Kart be damned. I could never fly
Pretty
over a
sick.
volcano.
Yeah.
You've effectively given us like a magic mountain, but like a bit more safe with less risk of tetanus. And I love that. Yeah, Matt, even before the $12 buckets and the half price pizza, man, I said it really early in this podcast. You guys want to go bowling sometime? Like,
Hell yeah,
like,
man.
The last
Yeah.
time I went bowling was forever ago. And one of the most enjoyable things I've done while still not being good at the sport. And like talking about pure unadulterated joy, like pre-COVID, when I was in grad school, there was a bowling alley in the town I went to grad school that had like half price bowling and you could bring your own beer from the outside world.
Oh, hell yeah,
Like
brother.
a NASCAR race, you could show up with a cooler. And let
Oh,
me tell
man.
you, I don't know if I believe in an afterlife or heaven, but heaven exists in that
Yeah.
Southeast Ohio bowling alley in 2012.
Yeah.
Great.
That's where the light shines. That's the real Pride Rock. So yeah, of course we're gonna, and then I could also go and like throw a frisbee that a dog catches. I can go over there maybe later. I can do the stun baton challenge. Man, opportunities are endless outside of that bowling alley as long as the lights are on and God's light
As long as
shines
the lights
upon
are on.
us.
All right. I've cooled off. I'm ready to make a decision where we're hanging out tonight. Andrew.
Yeah, it's Matt. I get it.
I'm so sorry.
It's fine.
Timber Island sounds great. Dreadful time to be putting our name on a flight log to a private island. Just
Yeah, no, it's fine.
Makes sense.
just laying it out. Todd.
Yeah, man. Listen, us four tried to go bowling
We get
together
it.
like 4 years ago. And it didn't work out, and none of us are over it. And now we get to talk about it.
I want to stress, I love everything there, except the fact that if our night takes any kind of bad turn, it possibly means destroying a small city.
The real talk here is the thing we didn't talk about. We have a couple beers and jump on the GameCube, and somehow humanity ends.
Somehow we end humanity.
What a way to go, I guess.
Not the way I want our night to turn. Matt, you had me at bowling. You locked me in with $12 buckets and buy one get.
He locked all of us in
Yeah, dude.
$12 buckets and that BYOB
I threw the whole
pizza.
GameCube
Or
away.
buy one
I don't know if
BYOB
you
pizza.
noticed, we already started heading towards the bowling alley. We're halfway there already. It's the bowling alley. It's the bowling alley from Wii Sports. It's the fantastic third place of gaming. Thank you, Matt.
I don't do it for me. I do it for the social capital of the American civilization that is in decline due to the lack of bowling leagues.
Fantastic.
Thank you.
And thank you, listeners, for listening to Debate This. You can follow along with the arguments on Instagram, YouTube, and Patreon at Debate This Cast, or on our website at debatethiscast.com. If you want to support Debate This more, check out our Patreon at patreon.com/debatethiscast, where for the price of $5 a month, you can get access to our monthly Patreon exclusive show, Fellowship This, aka one does not simply record a Lord of the Rings podcast, there in pod again. You'll also gain access to past Patreon shows, Deconstructed, and all of our episodes of our D&D show, The Office Drones. Until next time, I'm Kyle Harper.
I'm Andrew, not all islands, Henderson.
I'm Matt. Who do you think you are? I am Cole.
Yeah!
And I'm Todd. When there are only 9 pins on the lane, that's when the 10th pin carried you, Thomas.
And we're all saying thank you for debating with us, and if you think we're wrong, you can come fight us behind the swing sets, nerds.